Welcome, everybody, to a very special episode of the Austin Anthem podcast. Special for a couple of reasons. One, because you can see us. Normally we do just the audio version, but because of the topic of our discussions today, we will also have video element today so you can know what the hell we're talking about. The second reason it's a special episode is because we are 100% strictly talking about clothes, specifically soccer clothes. So we have gone from being a soccer podcast to a fashion podcast, and I think we're all okay with this.
Anybody
a little embarrassed?
In this sense, yeah, I'm quite all right with it.
Yeah, no, I think we totally lean into it. So we did this last year. We call it Trash or Cash, and we'll keep doing it throughout the season because it's really fun to be judgmental about teams' jerseys. But this one is focused 100% on all of the new MLS jerseys that have been released over the last couple of weeks. I feel like that's enough of an intro. Does anybody else have anything else they want to say before we dive right in?
I have a couple of things to say very quickly. One, ordinarily I'd be in my office with my Nottingham Forest jersey hanging on the wall behind me proudly. It's not. I apologise to all the viewers, those who tuned in specifically to see that. I know there's a large contingent. The other is, I've got to point out that in the spirit of this being a jersey review related thing, how is young Conor sitting there in, I mean, what is that?
I'm halfway
He's
there.
the only one
It's
not wearing a
Rioters
jersey.
T-shirt. I'm halfway there.
That's what happens when you're fresh from being a student. You can't afford the jersey. You can only afford the T-shirt.
Oh, that is cold, Mark.
Not cold if it's true.
Utterly low blows. So
he's still the most handsome of all of us, and now our viewers get to appreciate that. So,
All right, let's get started. We can jump right into it. So I have made a deck with all of the new kits for the 2022 season for MLS. They all go alphabetically. So let's get started with Atlanta. And we'll start with Conor on this one. Conor, what do you think of this, and is it a trash or cash?
It's trash. It is heavy trash, and the reason it's heavy trash is because I think they got lazy with the pattern. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. I don't know how it's supposed to tie into Atlanta. At least with the peach kit, you were like, okay, peaches, Georgia, it makes sense. This is like the forest kit, I think is what it's called. You've lost it on me because I don't see anything forest on there. So it's trash, and, hope they do better next year.
Mark?
yeah, I've got to agree with Conor. It's unfortunately trash, despite the fact it's called the Forest Kit. But you're right. I don't see any call-outs to Robin Hood. No evidence of the River Trent. I don't know what they're thinking here. Don't like the colour. Don't care for the pattern. I'm going to keep my powder dry on what it's like. But yeah, no, trash.
Matt?
This is trash. Nobody thinks forest when they think Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, this is not indoor. You are not a place that anyone in any way, shape, or form associates with a big thicket of trees. That and the fact that this color is not anywhere in the team's color palette. Not even close. So yeah, it's just about as trashy as it gets.
So, when it first came out, I was squarely in that trash bucket. I looked at it and I was like, oh
no.
my God, what did Adidas do?
No!
But
Don't do this to yourself, Robert.
So apparently Atlanta is called the city in the forest. I never knew it. I learned something about Atlanta. Going off that, it's not that bad. The pattern's a little iffy on the front, but like I get it. So I'm going to be the dissent on this one, and this is a cash for me now.
Not that bad is what counts for cash.
I mean, we don't have...
Okay.
it's all right in the middle. So
Right.
what should be the what
We
should
make
be
it
this,
binary for a reason. Yeah.
right? And what should be the distinguishing determiner is: would you spend 150 notes on this? I wouldn't even buy the replica shirt of this. That's how crap it is.
is that the determining factor? Would I spend $150 on the authentic of this?
Yeah, I think so. Right? I mean, that would make it, by definition, cash.
That's actually very very
Wow.
well done,
All
Mark.
right. So if we're going off that, then it has to be trash because I wouldn't spend $150 on this. I mean, I get what they're going with, and if I'm going specifically off that, it would be in the cash bucket. But if we're going off of what I spend my money on it, no, it would be in the trash bucket. So fine, you all win. It's trash for me then. On to the next one, and can we guess what's next, guys?
Well, if we're going in alphabetical order,
I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off for this one.
So we've got Austin FC on this one. We're going to save Mark for last because I have a feeling I know where he's going to go with this. So we'll start with Matt here.
so by Mark's definition, I should call this cash because I did spend money on it. It's in my closet right now. However, by our rating system, I have to put it in the trash category only because I feel like it could have been done better. The mint, I didn't really like it when I first saw it, but it's really grown on me. I like the color, and I like kind of owning more than just the Verde version of green. But I mean, there could have been a pattern. You could have had a color. You could have had a third color. For the numbers and for the sponsor. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. So it's basically like a slightly better than training shirt. And again, I bought it. I own it. But I would technically put it in the trash category.
So I bought it. I bought replicas, as I do with every jersey I buy is always a replica. But I did spend that money on it. But like you, Matt, I'm really skirting the line here between trash and cash. Ultimately, I'm going to go with cash because I think this is an improvement from last year. Purely, if only because of how atrocious the shoulder stripe was last year. It's cash.
All right, so I'm gonna go now, and I will leave Mark for last. This is a cash for me, 100%. It looks different on this spreadsheet picture than it does in real life. I don't know if it definitely looks different to me through the camera versus what's on that page. I love this shade of green. I bought another shirt with this shade of green from the Verde store earlier this week. I will buy the warm-up kit when it comes out in this shade of green. 100% cash, not trash, cash. And now, all right, fine.
Okay.
We'll let Mark go. Come on, give it to us, buddy.
I've been
Come on,
looking forward to this.
I'm waiting.
Well, firstly, Conor, you know nothing when it comes to the shoulder stripes. The shoulder stripes are harken back to the early 90s, a classic Adidas look. So, setting that aside, this shirt is the Han Solo movie of shirts. That is to say, you want to watch the Han Solo movie and you went, that was okay. I mean, could have been better. And then you come to realize, why did these even exist? Like, why was it a thing? It wasn't even necessary. This is so unnecessary. They could have done so much better. My daughter and I were talking about it yesterday because we saw it in the store. Went in the store before the game, and she was saying, why do they just have a green away shirt? I'm like, it would kind of be like Forest having their typical home red shirt and then having an away shirt in deep scarlet. It's just, do we now own the entire palette of green? I mean, maybe we do. Maybe that's what the club
honestly, they may be
going
what they're
for.
trying to do.
Yeah, so that literally is me being the nicest I can possibly be about this shirt. I think Matt used the phrase training jersey. That's also applicable. I will stop there, because I said to Robert before we started recording, I felt really uncomfortable doing this with him sat there wearing that shirt, knowing he spent his hard-earned on it, and now hearing the other two members of this group did too. So I'm done.
I was hoping for a lot more from you, Mark. I mean, earlier this week, weren't we saying that we were going to go with Carlin's naughty words on the video? I mean, that was very, very tame, my friend.
Yeah. Moving on.
Well, I mean...
Oh, it's a trash, by the way, just in case anyone's not
sure. Before we
sure.
move on, though, we do have to say, and it's probably going to be true, it'll easily be one of the top-selling jerseys in MLS this year. I mean, I saw so many already at the stadium yesterday.
I hope it is, because I want there to be a third jersey, which I hope will be better.
So we can have a third jersey that's like pink or something? This exact one that's pink?
So we can have a third jersey that's neon green.
I'll do neon green. I would jump on that in a second.
Yeah, that actually
Oh,
glows
that
in
would
the
be
dark. That'd
amazing.
awesome.
This one would be even better if it glow in the dark, but you know, that's okay. It does under black light.
It would glow in the dark if you did what you're. It would glow in the dark if you did what you're supposed to do with it and set it on fire.
All right, so we know where Mark stands on Austin's new kit. Moving on. So the next kit is Charlotte's primary kit. So we'll go from last to first. Mark, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, it's 100% cash. It's a really good looking shirt. Crisp, clean. Love the colour. Love the trim. You could say it's a little boring, a little templatey, but it just looks so crisp and clean. So big thumbs up from me.
Matt?
Cash.
Absolutely cash. And this is one of my favorites of the whole year. And I mean, look, it's that Carolina blue that everybody associates with North Carolina. I love the offset color of the sleeves. Like Arsenal had one like that a few years ago, and it looked really fantastic. I like that they implemented two colors and the ringers on the neck and the collar, yet it still comes across as clean, not too busy. And then, one thing we don't do is usually judge like the whole kit. We usually just talk about the jersey itself, but when they wear white shorts with that and then the Carolina blue socks, I mean, that is just a money look. They're going to suck this year, but they're going to look really good doing it.
Conor?
So I would agree. I have it as cash. I like that it's simple. I like that it's clean, but it works. It's clean, but it works in ways that other jerseys won't, as we'll get to. But I'm a fan. Give me cash.
And I agree with all three of y'all. This is better than the next one we're going to see. This kit, I saw it and I was like, all right, Adidas might be doing something. It's pretty plain, but it's very, very nicely done in its simplicity. They got the colors right, and it looks good. It pops. So it's definitely a cash for me. We move on to their
first cash clean sweep. I think they need to do round of applause when we do a cash clean sweep. Surely, clean sweep. Good job, yeah. Well done.
And now we get to their second kit. Conor, I'll give you the honors on this one.
Trash. I'd speak more, but they didn't put in any effort, so I'm going to put in just as much. Trash.
Fair enough. Mark?
I really like this shirt. I think the neck, what they've done with the neck trim is really cool. I like the color contrast. It's unique. I mean, obviously there are other black kits in the league, but it looks in this picture like it's, I'm not exactly sure what that is. Kind of a limey, bluey kind of a hue. The only criticism I'd have is I don't like, and I have the same criticism with the Austin shirt, I don't really like where the badge is the same color as the shirt. I like the badge to pop. I like the badge to be, I don't know, authentic, I suppose, to its true color palette. And here it's kind of washed out, with the rest of that color. So, not really a fan of that, but marginally a cash for me.
Matt?
Yeah, trash. I mean, I appreciate that they tried to do something with the collar and sleeve ringer design. I totally agree with Mark's point about the crest, and it's a slightly different color of blue. And I realize we just talked about Austin going with the mint green, but at least we waited till the second year to pull that. I mean, they're doing this with their first jersey, and then just I assume they're going to wear this as an all black look. I actually haven't seen it in action, but that like would seal the deal for if it's just mono black. That's kind of super boring. So trash.
And I am also in the trash on this one. I like the collar, I like the sleeves, but the rest of it's just no, not the right blue versus the other kit. If this were that blue, this would be cash easily, but
It would be better.
yeah,
Honestly.
it's just, it's really, really plain, like more plain than this one. We at least have some color in it that pops. So I'm gonna go with or trash. Man, I'm just off today.
You've got two options.
Yeah, well,
this is not splitting the atom,
that's what
Avery.
happens
Come on.
when you record a podcast before recording a video. My brain cells are not quite here today, but I digress. Moving on. Next up, we've got Chicago Fire. Matt, what do you think?
So this is going to be the first of multiple we see that are very similar. So that's why I had a tough time with this one, but ultimately I chose cash, although kind of like light cash. Might want some change back there a little bit, but I mean, it's definitely a clean look. I appreciate that they had a pattern on it to make it more interesting. I mean, I always think it looks nice when you kind of have the secondary color on the sleeve ends and in the color. So I'd be borderline buying this. If I was a Fire fan, I probably would, but it's definitely not one that I would, as a secondary fan or as a neutral, probably run out to buy. But nonetheless, we'll put it in the cash category.
So I'm going to go next, and I actually think this is cash as well. I do like the pattern behind it. The new crest looks really nice on this kit. I'm glad they went with that versus, their old one, which was straight trash. But if I was a Fire fan, I would 100% run out and buy this, and that's what apparently we're basing our decision on. So it's cash. Mark?
Yeah, I like this a lot, but I'm a bit of a sucker for this color combination. This, whatever that is, a navy blue, deep blue, petrol blue with the red. Really like it. Like the new badge, like that light blue on there as well. It really pops. I always think as well we need to consider, unless you're going to be a full kit wanker and buy the shorts and the socks, which nobody over the age of 20 should be doing, then one of your considerations in buying a jersey is, will this look good casually, right? Will it look good with my my jeans or whatever? And this would look really cool with jeans and a kind of cool pair of kicks. So yeah, definite cash.
I'll round it out. It's cash. It looks good. The new crest is really good. I like it a lot. Something that I am a stickler for is no sponsor, because that to me shows that you aren't doing a good job financially and you aren't being a truly well-run club. So it drives me crazy to have all that empty space. But with that being said, it is cash. The pattern works, the color combination works, and everything about it works. It just needs a sponsor, just something.
See, I'd almost say not having a sponsor is a bonus.
Yeah,
I would
this one,
agree.
No sponsor is a bonus, especially with the pattern on it. It stands out more.
So this shirt I'm wearing here, this Glasgow Rangers shirt, I bought it in part because it's a gorgeous shirt and also because it's the 150th anniversary commemorative shirt. But I was toying with buying the home jersey because the home jersey is really nice this year. But the sponsorship on it is massive and it's just so gaudy. And they have a horrible sponsor on this sleeve as well. It's straying to South American territory. I'm not trashing or cashing Glasgow Rangers shirt here. That's not what we're doing. My point is to say
I'll
that,
cash that for you, Mark. That's a fine looking shirt.
yeah, the reason I spent the money on this rather than that home jersey, even though it was kind of a coin toss, was exactly for that reason. I didn't want that sponsorship all over it. So I know what you're saying, Conor, but I think for some shirts, one of them actually is coming up in just a moment, not having a sponsor on it is an added bonus.
All right, next up, we've got FC Cincinnati, who we thoroughly trashed last night. But I'm going to go with Mark on this one.
Nicely done, Robert.
Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. I like it even more when it's getting its arse handed to it.
How many jabs can we
But
throw at Cincinnati
I think it's good.
in a couple minutes segment here?
It's a nice
Hey, at
shade
least
of
we didn't
orange.
physically hand them wooden
Oh wait,
spoons.
yeah, we did.
That was
was
Tony.
Yeah, nice shade of orange, nice and vivid. I think that's silver on there, right? On the shoulders and on the sponsor, and I like that. I like rather than just using plain white. There's a nice pop. It's really a shame that the team isn't worthy of the shirt. The shirt is the best thing about their club. It's a cash for me.
Matt, I have a feeling you're going to say exactly what I'm going to say, but I'm going to give it to you next.
Having seen it in person, it's absolutely cash. I mean, the silver makes it. I mean, especially in the crest. I mean, the crest up close just looks awesome, fantastic, and that's a great use of a secondary, I guess in this case, tertiary color in your color palette, like for the Adidas stripes. This is one I would darn near consider buying, even not as a Cincinnati fan. It's just a really cool, clean looking jersey. So, well done, Cincinnati. You're going to look really good while getting your butts handed to you all year.
Conor.
It's cash for me as well. I like the orange. I like the shade of orange. I even like sort of like the watermark of a pattern that they have going. I think it works. I like how they changed up the badge to match the shirt. It works so brilliantly, and it's such a shame that they just so suck. But it is cash.
Yeah, when I first saw the kit, it was trash for me. Just seeing it on the internet, I was like, it's not that great. It's kind of plain. You got a little design in it. Seeing it last night, I'm squarely in the cash now. The 3 Adidas stripes on the shoulder that are the same silver that they have the sponsor in, the Adidas logo and the FC crest are in that silver as well. This may be one of my top picks for this season kit wise after seeing it in person. So it's definitely a cash. And next we've got Colorado. So we're gonna let Mark take this since he's our resident Colorado expert on the podcast.
That's right. This is one of my magnificent 7.
I'm gonna have to mute that when I upload this to YouTube, right? Or we're gonna get copyright stricken.
It's not long enough. I made sure we came another 30 seconds. We're good to go. But no, there are 7 shirts on here that I think are magnificent. They stand head and shoulders above all others, and this is the first of them. Again, we have the outline on the shirt of the mountains, of the Rocky Mountains. Looks fantastic. Such a great compliment to their away shirt that has the topography, the kind of the lines of the mountain ridges and ranges. Never been a fan of this color for Colorado. It's one of the reasons I can never really get into the Rapids, but they do such a good job with all the little details on this shirt. The Colorado flag on the neckline brings a tear to my eye. Yeah, this is lovely. And the absence of a sponsor, I think, just elevates this shirt further. So, definite cash.
So I'm going to take the next on this, and this is cash. The mountain outlines, as you said, they make the kit. It's so well done in its simplicity. Not having the sponsor, you can see the mountains. I would wear this around town. I would wear this with jeans, with shorts. I'm not going to because it's a Rapids kit, but I would 100% buy this. So it is definitely cash. Matt?
Full agreement, and y'all have kind of touched on everything that I would hit. Just the Colorado flag on the back. I don't understand why every team doesn't do some sort of local mark like that. Whether it's a city flag, state flag, or like Cascadia flag, like Seattle often does. something that's meaningful to people locally. That it's just that nice little extra added touch of detail. So I totally dig that. And then it kind of already mentioned this, but the way the use of a secondary color is perfect here. I mean, it really pops. It gives it that extra little bit of class. Very well done.
Connor, finish it out.
So it's funny. I was watching Colorado lose to Comunicaciones, and I was watching them lose with my girlfriend, and she was like, "I hate that color combination," and I said, "See, I actually really dig it. It is missing a sponsor. I think they used to have like a Transamerica sponsorship on it where they had the building in San Francisco. I think that could look really cool. Like, it drives me crazy that there is no sponsor because it just feels incomplete. But that being said, it is so cash. It is relentlessly cash. Everything about it works. I really like the color combination. The badge plays perfectly into the kit as well, and then the mountain outlines are just perfect. So yes, it's cash.
So another sweep.
God, we totally should have discussed that. And I'm going off topic, but that penalty shootout, that was some fun soccer to watch. So, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Derailing the video here.
Very
Come on
different
now.
to the one that Liverpool and Chelsea
I tried,
contested.
but I steered
All right,
myself
all right,
right
back on track here.
Connor, do you want to talk
I
about
did, yeah.
the
All
Carabao
right,
Cup
next up
today?
is Columbus.
No, okay, no, moving on. Yeah.
Connor.
I don't care. It's a sponsored cup. It's meaningless. Oh, and Abramovich sell the team. That's my other thing as a Chelsea fan. But
All that's going to be in the video because I'm not editing any of this. So let's move on. Columbus. Connor.
here, I'll take the initiative. It's trash. It's horrible. It's I don't know if it's like highlighter yellow or vomit yellow. It it's bad when
If you vomit that color, go see a doctor.
Yeah. It is just so horrible.
But it's the gold standard.
Is it? Is it really?
That's what they call it. Yeah. I mean,
man, if that is gold, then I must be colorblind because that's not what I see. I see a really ugly shade of yellow.
Matt.
It's trash. Thanks for not trying, Columbus.
Mark.
What he said. I mean, and unfortunately, we're coming on to Nashville here in a moment, and we were joking that this is the round collar version of the Nashville shirt, which is equally uninspiring. Sometimes, to Connor's point, sometimes you get a sponsor on a shirt, and it fills the space in nicely, or it kind of just connects with everything. Sometimes it even elevates a shirt, right? I kind of feel like Minnesota United, the United's Target sponsorship, is kind of really neat, and it elevates it. I feel the same is true of Yeti as well with Austin. Just nothing on here works, including the sponsorship. It is the most blah shirt you could possibly come up with. Total trash.
So it is trash. I will give them credit for the pattern behind everything. So if you look really closely, there is actually a pattern in the yellow. You just can't see it really well on any of the pictures. But it's still trash. I mean, it's not gold.
Is it ugly? Is it angry Columbus fans flicking a V to Austin fans? Is that what the pattern is?
It's funny that you talk about the pattern because I think everyone will just be averting their eyes. So pattern will be lost on everybody.
That's also fair. So we've got a clean sweep of trash for this one. That's our first clean trash sweep, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. Well,
oh no, it's not because you made me change
yeah.
Atlanta to trash. So it's the second one.
Oh, that's right. I was remembering.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right. So next one we've got up is FC Dallas. Mark, start us off.
I just think this is boring. To me, it looks like a training jersey. I've never cared for FC Dallas's logo anyway. So, again, I'm struggling. I look at the shirt and I'm just struggling to find something that I like about it. It's not horrific. I mean, it's not proactively ugly. It's not coming after your eyeballs. Blah. Trash.
Matt?
See, so part of why I hate this is really not even FC Dallas's fault. It's an MLS thing, a league thing, that they don't put the patterns on the back of jerseys, but having hoops that don't hoop is absurd looking.
That's a great point.
See a plain back, and then what are supposed to be hoops in the front, and that's actually another thing to, back in the day, FC Dallas had a great identity with the hoops, and they leaned into that for a while, and like you always knew it was them right away when you turn on the TV and saw them playing. So I sort of appreciate the attempt to kind of go back to that, but it's not very well executed. That, and we've been talking about sponsor a lot, but why always does FC Dallas have a sponsor that makes you want to hit a report phishing button for your email? I mean, like, what the heck is a MavQ? Nobody's ever heard of that. I mean, it could be a pyramid scheme. It could be, a bot trying to steal all my money. I mean, I have no idea. So for all those reasons, this is definitely trash.
Conor?
So I think that Dallas jerseys are a lot like Dallas the franchise. Aggressively mediocre, occasionally horrible. This is the former. It's aggressively mediocre. It's fine. It's all right. But it's trash. Because it's all right, I guess. But no, it's not cash. It's trash.
I have to give it a trash too. I mean, it's not horrible. Would I buy it? No. But it's not the worst looking thing that we've seen. It's media. And what the hell is the LH jock tag on it? What is that?
Lamar Hunt.
Oh,
that'll actually give him credit
Okay.
for. I mean,
all right. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. See, brain cells not firing. But it's still, it's still trash. Moving on. DC United. Let's start with our DC boy here and let Conor go first.
It's cash. It is cash. It has a sponsor now, which is good. There has to be a sponsorship. Mark, I see you rolling your eyes, but I'm telling you, for me personally, and I mean that's all that matters because it's trash or cash. But sponsorships.
Is the sponsor Donald Trump's new social media company?
It is not. Thank God.
So that's a shame. Missed opportunity.
But I like when DC does this look. Simple, black, some black stripes. I actually own a DC United kit from a couple years back that looks a lot like this. I like that one. I like this one. It's cash.
Mark?
Yeah, there's something about this shirt that just screams Germany to me. I think it's the color palette. It's the use of the eagle. It's the accompanying helmet with a little pointy spike out the top. No, I'm kidding. There's no helmet with a pointy spike. And obviously, being English, I'm going to rally against anything that appears to be German. But joking aside, this is a real on-the-fencer for me. I'm going to come down on the side of cash because I think the component parts come together well enough to create a nice-ish looking jersey. It doesn't really set my pulse racing, but it's certainly not trash. Therefore, we only have 2 choices. I'm going to go
Or would
cash.
you buy it and wear it?
Yeah, I probably would if I was a DC fan, because again, I think this would look good as a casual shirt. In fact, I think it probably looks better as a casual shirt than it does as a game shirt. But yeah,
Fair enough. Matt?
see, I was definitely on the fence about this, and if we had a middle category, this would definitely be in it. See, on the one hand, I feel like it would have the chance to be a part of the best overall kit in the league if they wore it right. Like if they did this jersey and like white shorts and red socks, that could be a super cool, unique overall kit. But they're doing it mono black, which is super boring. and uninspired. So that's why I fell into the light trash category. Like, you know what? Just barely threw it out, but it's not so bad that I need to immediately take it outside to the big can. You know, it's slightly trashy.
I'm with you on the slightly trash. The first time I saw it, it immediately made me think of NFL referees with the stripes in it. And I was like, why are we becoming refs in MLS now? But the more I looked at it, I mean, it's not horrible. Would I buy it and wear it? No, I wouldn't. So it has to go in the trash category, but slightly. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just not enough to get a cash from me. So, next up, Houston. I'm sure we may have differing opinions on this one as we move forward. So let's start with Mark.
All right, so not to get Robert upset. Da, 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 da. This is the second of my magnificent 7, and it absolutely breaks my heart to admit that. It's Houston, and I hate Houston. I don't just hate Houston the team, I hate Houston the city, I hate Houston the Sam. There's nothing redeeming about Houston or anything associated with Houston other than this shirt. It's inspired. It's a good-looking shirt, great pattern, great use of colour combination. The silver, the orange, the black, this kind of grey going on. The badge is not great, but yeah, and this would look amazing again with a pair of jeans, you know, down the bar. Yeah, solid cash.
Yeah, I'm going cash this one too. I mean, I would buy and wear this if it weren't for it being a Houston kit, and I wouldn't be caught dead in a Houston kit. But at first I saw this and was like, man, why did Houston have to come out with something this impressive for a kit? It pains me to say it, but I mean, this is one of my top kits as well. So it's cash for me. Matt?
I mean, yeah, I actually had this as cash also. I mean, that the pattern, you know, looks like hot garbage to me, and that reminds me of Houston, so that's perfect. It's very well done.
Wow.
See, it's so funny that you say that because that's immediately what I thought. I went, this is oil spill. That's Houston. That is what it is. All kidding aside, well, Mark, I think Beyonce would have something to say to you about nothing that is redeemable coming out of Houston aside from this shirt.
I don't care for Beyonce either.
It is cash. It's dirty and grimy, and I think it really works for it, which is so awful. But you know, at least you know they're going to screw it up the next year. So it's cash this year. Yeah.
Wow, that went completely opposite to what I thought. So bravo, Houston, on actually making something that an Austin FC podcast agree on. So, next up.
Yeah, don't let them find out, for God's sakes.
We can be impartial.
Apparently we can. We've just proved this. So, next up, Sporting Kansas City. Conor, I'll let you lead this one off.
Isn't there other one light blue? Like light blue with dark blue stripes? Yeah? All right. Trash. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, then. Matt?
See, Sporting actually has a history of some of the coolest, most innovative designs in the league. So that's why, to me, this one's trash, because even though it's a very clean look, and you know they've done all the things I've mentioned and used accent colors well and all that stuff, I just have seen so many better jerseys out of Kansas City that this one is probably the most boring one I've ever seen them put out. So definitely trash for me.
Mark?
Yeah, it is just incredibly boring. And the sponsorship almost elevates it. It almost saves it, 'cause it's kind of an interesting sponsor logo. But it doesn't. Trash.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go trash on this one. And it's just boring. There's some words behind everything. I think those are words anyway. You can't really tell exactly what they say by the pictures, but it's just, yeah. Woo. Sporting Kansas City. Sorry. It's trash. Next, we've got LAFC.
Sorry, Ben Sweat.
Let's go with Matt on this one first.
This is cash. This is one of the top ones. I mean, I love this jersey because it's unique. It's the only one in the league that's going to have this center crest. I mean, the one thing that does bother me is having the Adidas logo and the crest both centered, but that's being a little nitpicky. But the coloring works well. The pattern is cool and interesting. I mean, I would, if I was an LA fan, even maybe not an LA fan, I would absolutely positively spend my hard-earned money on this. Total cash for me. Well done, LA.
I am also going cash on this one. I love the Art Deco pattern behind it. I'm not a huge fan of the centered up logos. They work on the kit just because of the way the patterns are in the background. I get why they did it. The Adidas being over the LAFC is a little weird to me as well, but I mean, bravo. This is also in my top kits just because of this pattern. They actually looked good on the pitch yesterday too, if you watched any of the replay of that match. So I'm going cash on this. Mark?
Are you going to hear the music? Is the music coming? No, it's not. I struggle with this shirt so much. And it contradicts everything I've said, or it doesn't contradict everything I said. Yeah, that's right. It doesn't, in that it fits with everything I've just said that I like about shirts. I like the use of logo here. I have no issue with the badge being in the middle. England did a shirt like this, I think it was back in the 80s, where the badge was in the middle. I don't like that all the time, but as a variant, that's cool. Color combination's good. I agree with you, Robert. The Art Deco piece is neat and it fits with the city. It would look great with a pair of jeans. There's nothing about this shirt that shouldn't suck me in, and yeah, I'm really struggling with it. I feel like the component parts are better than the ultimate whole. I mean, I would go cash. It's not trash. There's so much thought that's gone into this design. It does not deserve to be trash. But yeah, I will struggle with this shirt probably all season long, for what it's worth. I think I need to see it on the field, Robert. To your point, I think I need to see it being worn.
We'll get a chance later this season. Well, no, we won't. That's their home kit, isn't it? But you may go to LA and see it.
Unless we decide to wear the mint that game.
Maybe. It's very possible. All right, Connor, finish this out.
So, I like the Art Deco. If I was an LAFC fan, I would buy it. But we've been talking a lot about empty space. Whenever you don't have the badge on the side and the manufacturer on the other side, it leaves so much empty space. It feels unbalanced even though it's symmetric. I can't get over the center badge. I so strongly despise it. It's a shame because it is a really good design, but it's trash.
You may have touched on something there. That might be it. I really can't fathom why I don't love this shirt. And even though I have no issue with the badge being centered, I think you're right. I think it's the cluttering effect, in addition to a busy pattern, that just kind of draws the eyes in a weird way, maybe. I don't know. Certainly innovative.
It almost would have worked better if, and I know the sponsor would never do that, but if the Adidas logo had been like at the hemline or something, and then just move the badge up a little bit, that might have come together perfectly. Because like I said, that was the one thing that kind of stood up to me.
It's so funny that you say that. This is the one jersey that would be immensely better without a sponsor, because the flex thing is so blatant across the middle. It sucks up everything. My eyes just continually go.
It's almost
there.
like that's the team. It's like Flex FC is the team here.
Coming in 2028.
The next franchise, that's right.
All right, moving on. Next up, we've got LA Galaxy. Matt.
Trash. I mean, why do we need that many quasars? We're not looking at the universe. We're watching soccer. That's way too much. Nice try, but no.
Yeah, I'm going to say trash on this one as well. Uninspired is really the only thing that comes to mind on this for me. Mark?
Also trash. I hate this shit. I hate this club. They're so far up their own arses. They think there's something special. Just makes me want to vomit. Trash. Sorry, was that too strong?
So, every league does well to have one team that wears white. It's cash. It's cash for me. I like the collar. I like the color combination. They keep it simple. I get it. You know, it as much as this may draw all of y'all's collective ire, it's cash for me.
It looks like it has LA Plus on the back neck. It looks like they're trying to sell a subscription service to their club. I can't.
Streaming 24 hours following Landon Donovan around. God.
Connor's buying that.
Has he lost another hair yet?
Oh, next. We've got Miami. Let Connor start us off on this one.
Leave it to Miami to screw up a collar kit. Like, the collar is so ugly. Like, I've seen collar kits that work. This is not one of them. But with that being said, everything else about it works. So I gotta go with... That's my dog. Everything else about it works.
Agreeing or disagreeing?
I think the dog agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm going with cash, but the collar messes with me.
Matt?
Definitely cash. I mean, look, if you're going to be Miami, you've got to lean into the pink. I mean, it's crazy that they did not have a pink kit in their first year. And I actually kind of dig the collar, to be honest. And it's going to be the only collar jersey in MLS, so it's going to be a unique element for them. I think really what they're missing is, some sort of Florida or Miami tie-in, like on the back collar. But otherwise, this is well done all around, and it's going to look really good on the pitch, and you're going to know exactly who you're watching the moment you turn on the TV.
Mark?
Okay, so we're going to sound very boring and like a broken record here, but guys, I'm going to encourage you to put your finger over the screen covering the sponsor. This is a really good-looking polo shirt. I mean, Inter Miami golf team should be proud to wear this golf jersey. It's not a bad shirt. I like it, but it's a really cool, crisp, representative, to Matt's point, because it uses the primary colour of the club, polo jersey that would look great with a pair of jeans. And I struggle with it as a football shirt. That being said, they wear it with pink shorts and pink socks, which is great too. So I think I'm fractionally going to come down on the side of cash.
Yeah, I'm going to go cash on this one. Finally, Miami has a pink kit, and it works. I'm not too sure about the sponsor on it, but we'll leave that alone. That's for another podcast another day. But it works. Pink, the collar. I'd wear it as a polo shirt. I wish it had the buttons, kind of like the old school polo kits, but it's not bad. But yeah, it's cash from me. And next up, we've got Minnesota. Matt?
Cash for me, but barely. This is another one of those that's kind of that exact same template, like Chicago and Colorado's had and a few others will have. And really, the only reason I ended up going on the side of cash was because of the light blue North Star on the back. It kind of makes it for me. Otherwise, it's not their best one. And again, I'm probably putting them to a higher standard, kind of like I did Sporting Kansas City, because Minnesota usually has really, really good jerseys. This one isn't their best, but still cash.
Mark.
Yeah, the struggle. So this is cash, marginally. Everything Matt said. The struggle I have with this one is that there are certain jerseys, there are certain clubs that have that the jersey in and of itself is an identifier, right? You think about AC Milan, or you think about Austin FC, who I hope never deviate from the black and white stripes. However, they decide to organise them, whether it's in chevrons, it's vertically, horizontally, whatever. The shirt Matt's wearing, Blackburn Rovers, right? Very distinctive. And you're bound to that. And on the one hand, that narrows your options every time a new kit comes out. On the other hand, it's a great thing that you have that instant identifier. A club like Minnesota doesn't have that. They have free reign to do something a little bit creative, and yet they haven't. And this is just a little bit boring. The thing that saves this is I like the colour palette. Like Matt, I like the North Star on the back of the neck, which makes it fractionally a cash for me.
Conor.
You know what I really don't like about this is that the Target logo isn't also blue. It's white.
That's a good point.
And it's weird. And it doesn't work. And for all of those reasons, I'm going with trash.
I bet you Target said no. That's what I'm going with.
Right,
Target's logo is always
probably
white. I don't think they
exactly
would give permission to make it a different color. It'd be cool. I mean, I get you there. It's cash from me. I do like this kit, the North Star on it. I do like the pattern, kind of the Starry Night, shimmery-ish pattern that's in the background. It kind of sets it apart from some of the other plain kits that we've seen. And I mean, the Target logo definitely, it sticks out. I mean, it's Minnesota's kit. And it works. I'd wear it. If I were a Minnesota United fan, I'd buy it. So, cash. All right. Next up, we've got Montreal. Who wants to start this one? All right, go for it, Mark.
I'll go.
See? You both fight it out. And then whoever...
Mark, please, sir, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Da-da, da-da-da-da. Yes, indeed. This is the third of my magnificent 7. I love this kit. It is flawless. Well, it's not quite flawless. It's almost flawless. Great base colour. Great secondary colour. Great use of the third colour as well. The pattern's fantastic. I would love to see a pop somewhere on the shirt, whether that be in the sponsor logo or on the badge, or maybe on the back of the neck where they have that little detail. Just a little pop or something, whether it's a red or, I don't know, just something. That would be really, really nice. That would just tip it over the edge. But this is, it's gorgeous. It looked gorgeous on the field. It looked gorgeous down the pub.
Matt?
So I normally really like Montreal's kits, but this one's trash for me. I mean, it looks like Jackson Pollock started a painting and just gave up, and I saw it on the field, Mark, like in the highlights from the match, and it, the gray I normally dig, but it just doesn't work well with this one. So it's, I appreciate the attempt at something unique, but it didn't execute to me. Trash.
I am going cash on this one. I love the pattern. It harkens me back to the Arsenal kit a few years back that had the very like pattern, but it was red at the time. It works. It looks nice. It's crisp. It's clean. I don't really have much else to say about it. It's cash. Conor?
Randy Moss, straight cash. It is straight cash. It works. It's really good. I like the gradient. I like the colors. Cash.
All right. And next up, we've got Nashville. I'm going to let Matt start this one.
Trash. Be not like Columbus, Nashville. You're too good of a team for that.
Conor?
See, I think this one's cash. I do. I think that the stuff that under the arms that you can't see from this picture works. I like the sound wave idea, and I think Nashville is a team that wears yellow. It's their primary color, so this is what they're going to give us, and I think that it just works for me in a way that especially Columbus didn't. Maybe it's the muted yellow. I know that this yellow is like not as bright and ugly as the Columbus yellow was, but for all those reasons, I have this as cash.
Mark?
Yeah, this is a difficult one because this is a shirt that I think the designers struggled with. Again, all of the elements are authentic. To Conor's point, it kind of works with the branding. But then what you end up with is a shirt that's pretty uninspiring. I do like what we're doing under the arms and down the side panels. That does elevate it above the Columbus shirt. I'm not a massive fan of yellow, which is kind of ironic given that I come from Oxford, where Oxford United are based in their yellow. But yeah, it's a trash with sympathy. Like, I don't hate it. Like, it's kind of like the Dallas situation. I don't hate it. The Dallas designers could have done more, and they have excuses. Nashville's don't so much. This is probably the best they could have come up with, maybe. I don't know if that's exactly true, but marginal trash.
So I'm with Conor on this one. I am going cash. I would actually buy this kit. The sound waves on the arms, the neck tag, which is actually the coordinates of their new stadium. Just kind of, and I believe the jock tag on it is for the inaugural stadium for this year. I like it's simple, but I think it's really well done. So I'm going cash on this one.
I will say, if the Columbus shirt and this one weren't so similar, I probably might have liked this one more. That's part of what I don't like.
Agreed.
Way too alike, and that's in the league more so than on Nashville.
But I mean, they're not alike.
For loud.
This one has the side panel on it with the sound waves.
No, I know it does, but they just at first glance, correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't seem like their normal navy for the accent color. That seems more blackish.
No, it's actually navy. It's just pictures don't put it
Okay,
out.
so
yeah, it's navy.
Fair enough.
That might tip it into cash for me. Right on the fence, though.
It's close. It's
Yeah.
close. It's better than Columbus's. I'll give it that.
Oh, it's way better
Yeah.
than Columbus's.
Yeah, I've probably got splinters. I've probably got splinters in my arse over this one. Right on the fence.
All right. And next up, we've got New England.
Oh, Chicago again. We're back to Chicago again.
All right. So we're going to have Mark start this one off. Go for it, buddy.
Oh, God. Why? I love this team. I love New England. I love everything about this shirt. I love the new badge. I love the flag on the back. We've already talked about that. I love the color combination. I already mentioned that. And this shirt is trash. It breaks my heart.
Matt?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. The new crest really looks nice. You know, I definitely love the unique element in the flag on the back neck tape. But for the first shirt with their new crest, they could have done better. And I understand they probably picked this shirt before they picked the crest, or maybe not. But it could have been more. And then the same thing I just said. I mean, this is so similar to Chicago's. Those two shirts also coming out in the same year. You know, they should have gone back to one of them and said, you need to come up with something different, at least for this season, and save this design for another year.
Conor?
So trash, if I never said it.
Yeah, I feel about New England the way I feel about Dallas. As a franchise, aggressively mediocre, occasionally horrible. This is mediocre. It's fine. I think that the Chicago badge is better, and for that reason, it sort of nudges me past this jersey, it I feel just the way that I feel about this is I respond with a shrug. It's all right. It's cool, I guess. Maybe, but probably not. I wouldn't buy this. I mean, I probably would if I was a Revs fan, but just like the way I'm floundering about this, it's trash. It is trash.
Yeah, I'm also going trash on this one. The pattern behind everything is just kind of uninspired, whereas Chicago actually has a more interesting pattern on theirs. I do like the new crest, and originally I had last year's kit with the new crest in here, but I took it out because it's not technically not a new kit, but their white and baby blue kit from last season with the new crest looks amazing. But this one just it doesn't hit the mark. It's trash. All right. Next we've got NYCFC. I'm gonna let Connor start this.
Why don't you lead us out, Robert?
What?
Robert, why don't you lead us out? Why don't you? Yeah, you never get to do it. You always get the crap that's left over.
Yeah, well, so this one, I'm on the fence with this one. I really am. I go back and forth. I like the design. I like the orange and the blue. I hate the lightning bolt that goes down. That looks like it has really nothing to do with anything. It's just kind of a lightning bolt to separate. And it's not even really separating because there's orange between the blue and the orange anyway. I have to I'd have to marginally put it in trash because I would not buy it just for that fact of the lightning bolt. It just does not look right to me. But it's not a bad kit. So, yeah, trash. Marginally. Mark, I'll let you go next.
Yeah, I'm going cash on this one for sure because I like the innovation. I like that, and I agree with you. The lightning bolt, it makes it look like you're wearing an Avengers uniform. And if you're going to put a lightning bolt on a shirt, really it should be a shirt worn by a team in Florida, given that that's the most struck state by lightning of anywhere in the US. But I like it. I like the fact they're trying to do something different and interesting. I think the colour combination is great. And as I mentioned earlier, I love it when you keep the authentic colours on the badge, or the crest as you guys call it. And they did that here. You have the kind of baby blue on the crest and it makes it pop. And so, yeah, and I also shout out for the star over the crest. I earned it this last season.
I was going to say,
so
at least
fair
they
play
got
for
the
that.
star
So yeah,
over
I
the
like
crest instead of the Adidas badge system.
Yeah. So I don't adore it, but I like the moxie. I like the fact they tried and they didn't fall flat on their face as far as I'm concerned. So it's a cash.
Conor?
It's a cash for me as well. I also struggle with the lightning bolt. The transition from orange to blue would have been enough, in my opinion, for them to get across what they're going for. But I just really like this, and I like that they were bold. I like the idea. I like the lightning bolt pattern, even though I hate the lightning bolt itself. But I have this as cash.
And Matt.
This was trash for me. I think I like what they tried with the lightning bolt for sure. So I mean, even though y'all all just in the lightning bolt, I actually kind of dig it. But what I don't like is they leaned way too much into a tertiary color for them. I think this whole thing would have come off way better if everything that was orange was light blue, and then if the dark blue trim and the lightning bolt was orange, then that would really pop, and this would be something super cool and unique, and kind of get the whole idea of like the electric current, third rail, all that stuff. You would get that way more than it just looking like a random pattern. So, trash.
Anyone else need some crayons to like sketch out what Matt just said? Because I'm totally lost.
I mean, I could see it. I think
Run that by me again.
I think it would look good swapped.
So we'll say it again. So run that by us again.
Okay, so if everything that was orange was actually the baby blue,
Yeah.
and then the navy trim on the sleeve cuffs and on the collar, if that was orange, and if like the lightning bolt itself was orange. I think this whole thing, it'd be like a top one or two.
Wouldn't that just be Philadelphia, though?
What they had, you mean like the one from
Yeah.
last year? I see what you're saying, but that one was like that pattern all over. Like this is just like the one singular electricity bolt. So plus there was like light blue and yellow. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. It's just because orange isn't their color. I mean, orange is Cincinnati's color and Houston's normal color. So I think that's part of what bugs me about it.
Fair enough. And next up, we've got the New York Red Bulls. Connor, I'll let you lead us off.
I don't like the New York Red Bulls thing on the back. I've never liked that. Man, cash.
That sounded like it was a lot harder to get out.
Yeah, it's like you're getting a tooth pulled and finally just gosh.
See. Here's the thing. I don't like New York. I don't like the city. I don't really like either team. I sympathize more with City, which is weird because they're newer, but I guess so is Austin FC. I like the checkerboard pattern. I like the shade of red. I like that the Red Bull logo is all white. All of that together makes it cash, but something about it just makes me like hesitate, and I don't know what it is.
Fair enough. I'm going to go cash on this one. I love the checker pattern. I think this was the first one that came out this season, if I'm not mistaken. The first one that they released for all the new kits, and I saw it and I was like, man, that's nice looking. And it was the picture on the right that did not have the back on it at the time. So I was like, man, that's a slick kit. And then you see the back and they have the New York Red Bulls back there, which is kind of, I mean, it definitely detracts a little from the kit, but overall the checkerboard and the Red Bulls logo, it's cash. Mark?
I don't think I like it. I don't know. Trash. I'm so conflicted. It's all the balls. So much bull. There's bull everywhere.
I like this. It's cash for me. I like, for one, that they subdued the logo and it's just white and doesn't have the colors in there, so it's not as obnoxious. Not the logo, but the sponsor logo on the chest. I mean, not the crest. I actually kind of like the New York Red Bulls on the lower back, if only because it's a unique element just to them. They're the only team in our league that does that. It wouldn't be my favorite in general, but if we're going to award points for creativity, then so be it. I love the checkerboard pattern. That's the best part about this to me. I would absolutely buy this if I were a Red Bull fan. Although I do have to give a shout out to our neighbors to the south, San Antonio FC, because they've done the checkerboard pattern and they've done it better in recent memory. But overall, this is still cash for me.
Right. Next up, Orlando.
I was gonna ask Matt if you would be happy having Austin FC on your arse. On the back of your shirt, the lower portion of your shirt, but I'm not for sure that you haven't bought Austin FC underwear, so you probably already have that going on.
Oh, I have special game day underwear, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that I already wear, so yes, for sure.
Austin FC on the back and McConaughey across the front.
I honestly, for us, I wouldn't like it. I think it works on their kit. I mean, I totally get what y'all are saying. I mean, it looks weird because you're not used to it, but on their shirts, I think it works. For us, I think it looks kind of goofball.
All right. Matt, I'll let you lead us off with Orlando.
This shirt is beautiful. This is one of the best jerseys to come out anywhere in recent memory because it's unique. It's an interesting pattern. It uses their primary and secondary colors in a really fun way. I mean, to Mark's point, is it something I would wear with jeans and go out? Absolutely. And it looks great. The sponsors, not obnoxious. The crest stands out. I mean, they're just everything about this shirt I absolutely adore. This, if this isn't number one for me, it's a very close second. So this very, very well done, Orlando, 100% cash.
Connor?
Straight cash. Jersey speaks for itself. I love it. Cash.
Mark?
Well, given how effusive my co-hosts have been about this shirt, do you think this is one of my Magnificent Seven?
I hope for your sake it is.
Well, in the words of Orlando icon, golly gosh, yeah, of course it is. Da 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 da. I agree with everything you guys have said. This is a work of art. This is not a soccer jersey. This is a work of art. I would buy 2 of these if I were an Orlando fan, because I would want one that didn't get dirty. I would want one to have forever in pristine condition. It deserves to be behind glass. It's gorgeous. I mentioned the Montreal shirt for me was near flawless. This is flawless. You have that little pop of colour on the back of the neck. What they've done with the main pattern could potentially be garish. It's not. They got it just right. I see this shirt, it makes me sad that I'm not an Orlando fan. And I may buy this shirt. Listeners and viewers and whatnot to this show may know last year I bought the Sounders Jimi Hendrix shirt because it was this. It was art and it deserved to be owned. Not only is this in my Magnificent Seven, this is probably number 1.
I agree. This is number 1 for me. It's cash. I saw this and I was like, well done, Orlando. This is the best thing that's come out MLS kit wise in quite a while, I think. And it's funny, the sponsor actually works on here too. Like the wording of the sponsor, just it kind of flows with the kit. Like it's just so well done. I do wish that they had carried it around and had the same pattern on the back. But we don't get back patterns in the
But
MLS.
that's
that's
MLS
MLS
thing.
and Adidas. So, but yeah, this, I mean, well done. I think this is.
I mean, it is possible. You can have 2 colors in the back of that shirt. It's absolutely possible.
Yeah, no, this is number 1 this season. Straight cash. All right. Next up, Philadelphia. Connor, go ahead and take this one.
So, what does it in for me is I hate the color combination. It's not Philadelphia's fault. It's not their fans' fault. This is the combination that they have. It looks like baby food, especially that gold baby food. Just doesn't look good, which is unfortunate. I like the effort that they put in, but it's trash. It is trash.
Mark?
I'm sorry, guys. This is one of 3 examples on my Magnificent Seven list of a club elevating its basic shirt to the absolute pinnacle of what you can do with that shirt. Colorado is an example of that too. There's another one yet still to come. That's what Philadelphia have done here. This is beautiful. I mean, it's just well put together. The weight and balance of the shirt in terms of color combination is perfect. This is perhaps the best looking shirt to go with jeans. I mean, the Orlando shirt will just go well with anything. I would wear a sarong with the Orlando shirt, but
Nobody wants to see that one.
If Austin win MLS Cup this year, I will wear a sarong. There we go. That's all I have to say about it. I love it. When you're looking at just pure simplicity, you're walking in that narrow line between boring template and something really special. And I think Philadelphia came up with the latter. Definite cash.
Matt?
So this is an episode all about our opinions. So it's hard to say anybody's right or wrong here, but Conor could not possibly be more wrong with his opinion. This is a fantastic soccer jersey. It's very well done all around. The use of secondary color, I love the offset stripe, right over the crest. Look, Bimbo is a ridiculous looking sponsor, and Philadelphia has gotten crap for that for years, and rightfully so. But here, it actually looks really cool in the gold. I mean, I would totally buy this jersey. This one's like top 3 for me.
Interesting. It is cash for me, though. I do like it. It is simple, but it works. The gold logo, the gold Adidas, the gold stripes up top, and then that strip of blue that comes down. It's a very, very good-looking kit. I'd buy it if I were a Union fan, so it is a cash.
And the bolt on the back of the neck. Don't ever see me mention that.
All right. Next up's Portland. I have a feeling I know which way this one's going, but it'll be interesting to find out. Let's start with Mark. Okay, I had no idea how this was going to go.
Come on, you had to know that was coming. This is a great jersey. I will be critical. I love that they lent into the rose pattern, with obviously them being the Rose City. I like the colour combination. I'm not super giddy about it. I actually think they could have been even a little bit more ambitious with the roses themselves and brought that colour out even a bit more vividly. And it's a little bit samey for me throughout. But I love the audacity of having flowers on your shirt. I love the fact you look at this and go, oh, look, it's Hawaii FC coming in 2030. But yeah, it's of all the shirts I have in my Magnificent Seven, this probably is the one that squeaked in at 7. But again, points for audacity, cash.
Conor?
Are those roses? Is that what that is? I couldn't tell. It's trash to me. Matt, you talked about a Jackson Pollock painting. This is my Jackson Pollock painting. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. If it is roses, then I think that's awfully, it seems to me that Portland shouldn't be going anywhere near, roses or thorns for a little bit, given how that organization has come under fire as of late. It's trash for me.
Matt?
Yeah, for as much as Conor and I disagreed on the Union jersey, I think we're in lockstep on this one. I mean, I really want to like this one, but what kills it for me is those do not look like roses. I mean, like the one right below the Alaska Airlines logo, that I keep thinking that's a hummingbird. And if they're going to lean into the rose thing, which I think they should. I mean, again, like Mark said, being the Rose City, like roses are beautiful, vibrant colors. Like this is really a subdued red-ish. I don't even know if that's red. I mean, and that combined with the creamish instead of white. I mean, I think they could have done this really well and had roses like, all over the jersey, and it looked cool. But this just doesn't do it for me.
Can I just say quickly before Robert wades in, oh my God, I just had a thought. Can you imagine if like each of these roses was different colours? Like one was red, one was yellow, one was orange, as roses are. And they've got like full audacity. Yeah, like full audacity. I mean, it would have split the fan base, and it would have been a marker. It would have been an MLS Jersey marker.
Yeah, Adidas would never let
Robert.
that happen in a million years.
No.
I unfortunately I'm with Matt and Conor on this one. I love that they went outside the box, but that big rose beneath Alaska Airlines just kind of kills it. You can't really tell it's a rose unless you really, really, really look at it. The one on the neckline does look like a rose, but the rest of it's just blotches, and I can't get behind it. The Timbers logo in that maroonish color just doesn't do it for me. The Alaska Airlines isn't bad on the kit. It looks like it belongs there. It's just I can't do it with the what we're led to believe are roses that we can't really verify are roses. So yeah, it's a trash.
But don't we want... Okay, so I respect your opinions. You're perfectly entitled to be wrong, all of you. But isn't this what we want our MLS teams to be doing, to be reaching?
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
NWSL
absolutely.
has... NWSL
I'm not
has
faulting them for
so-
reaching.
Yeah.
It just didn't hit.
Exactly.
Well, that's fine, but I think we need to encourage this attempted inspiration. NWSL has a so much better jersey palette than MLS does, and I
So
want to
does
encourage
USL.
this.
I mean, I think we would all agree.
I mean, they just need to do
absolutely.
it
I want to
right.
encourage this, but
Hit on it, don't miss. So,
Applauding for
moving
the
on.
effort, but execution's not there.
Yeah, and I'll mostly blame Adidas for that one. Yeah, it's if they would have printed it with a little more clarity, it may have hit harder. Who knows? But all right.
Maybe they should have looked at a rose before they designed the jersey.
That probably would have been a good idea. Next, we've got Salt Lake City. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put this one into trash, unfortunately. I do actually like the kit. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't wear it. It would look good with jeans, I think. I do like the lion on the collar, but it's just, it's uninspired. It's red and yellow, I think. That is yellow, right? Or is that like marigold or something?
No, yeah, it's their yellow for the crash.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me. So trash. Connor?
See, I'm conflicted with this kit. I like it. I actually do. It's weird because RSL is such a horrible team name, and it has nothing to do with Salt Lake City, and that really damages this. But I still think it's cash. I like the lion. I like the color combination in a weird way. I like the jock tag. I like that the state of Utah is on there. I think they should rebrand, change the name and the badge, but I have this jersey as being cash.
Matt?
I mean, I probably struggle with this one more than any other. It should be cash. The jock tag and unique elements are there, but it's a perfectly fine soccer jersey. But if that's the best I can say about it, then I think I have to put it into the trash category. Even though it doesn't suck. It's fine.
And Mark.
Da, 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 da. For the final time, this rounds out my Magnificent Seven. I will defend this to the death, and I'll tell you for why. This is one of those three jerseys I said where the designers have truly elevated the basic standard to the pinnacle of what they could come up with. Colorado was the other, Philadelphia was the second. This is the triumvirate. You're right, all of the elements are called out here. The state of Utah had the lion on the back of the neck. The crest looks beautiful and crisp and uncluttered. The sponsor pop in the white, just calling out those little bits of white from the badge. The side paneling in the navy. The use of the three colors on the neckline. The trim on the... all of it. It's just the attention to detail here. There's so much attention to detail here that it's created something plain and crisp and perfect. And I'm not even a fan of this colorway. Like, in the same way that I don't really care for either Philadelphia's or Colorado's. And yet they put together the best that they could come up with for this particular shirt with this color palette. And I think they deserve a hat tip for that. And they make my Magnificent Seven.
Well, it's good to know Mark
Cash.
is wrong on that one. Moving on. San Jose. We'll
Skip.
start with Mark this time.
Skip. It's trash. Skip.
Okay, so I
Well,
guess we're
I
starting with Connor
refused-
there. We
I
know what
refused-
he's going to go.
I refuse to review a shirt that you're not showing us the finished product. Because this one clearly hasn't been coloured in yet, so...
It makes me think they need to replace the toner cartridge. I mean, what?
Exactly.
Hey, can we just say
Yes.
trash?
So is that-
Okay,
Yeah, I have nothing
all
nice
in
to say
favour of
about
trash.
Yeah, it's trash.
I want to see hands. All in favour of trash.
Especially because San Jose has such
There
a
we go.
beautiful blue as part of their main color scheme, and they did not use it at all. So it's mind-boggling that they thought this was it.
I make the same joke when I'm driving down what is a completed highway and there are potholes everywhere, and I joke with my kids, this road will be good when they finish it. Same goes for this shirt.
Swing and a miss. All right, Seattle.
Wait,
Yeah,
real quick. Are we sure that's a swing and a miss? I think that's taking like strike 3 down the middle.
It's something.
No, that's I saw a video actually the other day. That's a swing and a miss, and the ball hits you in the face. I mean, like that happened to a Longhorn baseball player just the other
Or
day.
like a foul tip
I
that
think it's a
bounces
weak-
off the ground and then hits you in the nuts.
It's like a weak attempt at a bunt. Like, they did that on purpose, and they still screwed it up.
All right. And moving on to Seattle. Mark, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Yeah, so this very nearly made my Magnificent Seven. This is a really good shirt. And again, I love the audacity of it. I actually was going to put it in my Magnificent Seven after I saw it this weekend as well, because on the field, on the players, in motion, it's even better looking than it is static. I don't know who I take out for it. Maybe their neighbours, would that cause a riot? Maybe Portland, because that really got into my Magnificent Seven purely based on, them taking a risk. But it's a great shirt. Yeah, no criticism whatsoever. Cash.
Matt?
Yeah, definitely cash. I think they went for a unique element that I don't think I've seen something like that pattern before, and it worked. Uses their colors well, even though they have two different sponsors on there with the sleeve and the main chest. It isn't distracting like in the white. It looks good. Seattle's gone a lot of different places with their jerseys over the years, but you always know it's them because they stick to the color. So again, as I've said multiple times, you turn on the TV, you're going to know right away that it's Seattle Sounders playing, and I would 100% buy this if I was a Sounders fan. No, very well done.
Connor?
It's cash. I think it's far more marginal than what Mark and Matt have both talked about for me personally. I get them. I like that they're going out there with the pattern. I'm not sure if it completely hit the mark, but I appreciate the attempt, and I agree with what Matt said, especially with this color scheme. It's so unabashedly Seattle. All their sports teams have roughly the same sort of color scheme, and I really appreciate that. I think it fits in especially like what we'll see over at Lumen Field or whatever it's called now. But I give this a cash.
So this one, I was originally in the trash family on it. When I first saw it, I wasn't a fan. And then I looked at it more and more. I don't like the pattern on the front of it, but it is a Sounders kit, and it's a Sounders kit. So it's marginally cash for me now, just after seeing it multiple times, seeing it on the pitch. It doesn't look awful. I might buy it. So slight cash, not quite trash. All right. Next up, we've got Toronto. Connor, I'll let you hit this one first.
Straight trash. Straight trash. Same thing as San Jose. What are you doing? Put in a bit more effort, okay? It's so bad. It's discount Juventus, but they don't even do that right. It is trash.
Mark?
So it is trash, but this is one of those jerseys that I think, and Matt says this a lot, I think it can be elevated by the rest of the uniform. So I'm thinking if you have white shorts, maybe black socks, or white shorts, even red socks, to pull out that red from the badge, I think that could look really, really sharp. And that becomes then one of the best uniforms in MLS because it just looks so crisp and sharp, and the two panel then really kind of jumps out at you. I don't suspect that's what's going to happen. I'm imagining they're going to wear black shorts, black socks, or black shorts, white socks. So, and we're not analysing uniform, we're analysing jerseys standalone. And sadly then, that makes this trash.
Matt?
It's cash for me. I mean, one, how could I not give cash to a two-panel jersey? I'd be being a hypocrite if
Good
I
for
did.
you.
Plus, I like the fact that it's the light gray or the dark gray, but that's their color palette. I mean, that's their secondary colors. I mean, their nickname's the Reds because they usually go with the mono red all over. So as a departure, I dig it, and the reason is it's so much more well done in my eyes than like the San Jose one is they at least went for a specific look with the half. They did something as opposed to what San Jose did. I mean, I don't like that the patterns are not continued on the back, but I can't fault them for that because, again, as talked about, that's a league thing. That's not a them thing. So, and yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, Mark, but you're right. Like if they did that with Red Sox, that would actually look super cool. So, cash for me.
Yeah, I'm with you, Matt, on this one. This is cash for me as well. I like the panels. I like how the arms are the opposite color to the panel, and it actually goes all the way around the arm outside of the underside. It's a clean jersey. It would look good with jeans. I would buy it as a Toronto fan. So it's cash for me.
All right, okay. I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm changing my vote. I'm going cash.
What are y'all talking
I like
about?
it. It speaks to me in so many different ways. I like the colours. Like my favourite colour is white. Yes, I'm boring, but that's my favourite colour. So this resonates with me, and I like the cleanness of the badge, of the crest. I like the ideas with the rest of the uniform that could potentially come to pass. But it doesn't deserve to be trash. I'm changing my vote.
Well done, Mark.
One of us. All right.
If that's what it
I'm
takes
changing
to
my
be
vote
one
back.
of y'all, then pass.
All right.
I'm
And
changing my vote back.
now we come to the final kit of the series, Vancouver. I'm going to let Matt start us off with this one.
This was among my favorites and was probably vying for number one before I saw Orlando's. I mean, I really love that Vancouver's leaned into kind of the center stripe thing. They've done that for a few years. Talking about would this look good with jeans? Absolutely. The sponsor works as well as you could possibly have a sponsor look and not look obnoxious. They very appropriately use their accent colors without making it look ridiculous. So in every possible way, this is a very clean, well-done jersey, but also very distinctly Vancouver Whitecaps. I mean, right away this is a Whitecaps jersey. So I totally dig it. Cash for me.
Mark?
Yeah, I feel bad about this one because the city of Vancouver is one of the greatest cities in North America. Anyone who hasn't been there, do yourself a favour. Fantastic place to visit. And I have a soft spot for the team as well. And I mentioned earlier that there were certain jerseys here that they were basic jerseys, but they've been elevated, right? We talked about Colorado and Philly and RSL, and this is another example of that. In a parallel universe, this makes my Magnificent Seven. Unfortunately, there's bias here in that I just don't care for this color scheme. Like if this were a different color scheme in exactly this design, I think I would just be in love with it. I love that center slash, that panel through the middle. I think Vancouver's badge sucks. So I struggle with this one because, again, it's not trash. Like, it's just not. Like, in terms of like a binary decision, it's not trash. So I will give it cash. Despite the fact that, again, the color palette doesn't speak to me.
Fair enough.
Which is a me thing. It's not Vancouver's fault.
Conor.
Cash. I find Vancouver to be one of the best dressed teams in the league every year. And I think that this is no exception. It's a shame that they are so bad. Same thing as Cincinnati, but this one is definitely cash for me.
And I will round it out.
Do you think...
Oh. No, go ahead, Mark.
No, go.
Oh, okay.
No, go.
Right.
No.
No. All right, yeah. I'll round it out with the cash. I like the logo, the mid stripe. I wish it went all the way around, but can't fault them for that. It's clean. You know who it is. I do agree with Mark that the logo is severely lacking. I think they need a rebrand pretty soon. Or a new logo at least up there. But yeah, it's cash. So Mark, go ahead and say what you were going to say to Conor.
Okay. I'm going to go all Sophia on you here. Picture this. Sicily, 1950. No. Picture this. This exact jersey with green verde rather than the navy blue, the white through the middle, and rather than having the light blue stripes out either side of the white band, we have black. We have the Austin FC crest on it. How sharp of a second uniform does that look?
I think that looked good. Although I disagree with you on the color palette. I love navy and light blue together.
I don't think it works for.
I also wonder
as a kit.
Okay.
It speaks.
Or even
it
you
speaks
could go where the
Vancouver
navy
to
is,
me,
you could have the white.
just because that's what they've always done.
Okay. And then to Connor's point about, I think it was Connor's point about Vancouver suck like Cincinnati, and yet they have great jerseys. Do Adidas have like a suite of designers, and some of the designers are known to be better than others? And it's kind of like the draft. Like whichever team's the worst in the previous season, they get access to the best designers. So even if your team sucks, you know you're going to have the best jerseys in MLS. Is that how it works?
Could
be how it works,
looks
right?
like. So with us going through all
Although
of
that
them,
doesn't-
let's go through. I'm gonna start with Matt and give your top kit of the season and your bottom kit of the season.
First off, I'll say just overall, I think it's a much better group of jerseys than last year for sure. Than really, again, taken as a whole, than most any year I can think of. There was a lot of effort to putting forth more unique designs this year, more so than most any year I can remember. So, taken as a whole, good job this year. Still would love to see everybody have their own shirt sponsor company as opposed to being stuck with it, Adidas, but we are stuck with what we are there. So, top overall has to be Orlando. Bottom overall, Atlanta.
All right, Mark.
Well, top overall is Orlando. It just is. They just nailed it. Everything about that shirt is good, is great. Bottom overall, man, there are some contenders. Atlanta is definitely one of them. I'm sorry, Matt. Austin FC is another. Not because it's a horrible looking shirt, not because the colours putrid. It's just uninspiring. They just cheaped out. A couple of others we can mention too, but I think if we're talking about uninspiring and literally not almost appearing that you didn't give a shit, we're going with San Jose.
Conor?
See, I think that there is a clear winner and a clear loser, and I agree with you, Mark. Clear winner is Orlando. It's not even close. Clear loser is San Jose. Also, not even close.
And to round it out, my top is Orlando, so I think we're a clean sweep on that one. It is the best kit this
Whoa.
season. My bottom kit, it has to be. I mean, it's actually a toss-up between San Jose and Columbus, but I mean that San Jose kit is just awful. So it's going to be San Jose. It's the worst kit of this season.
I so
I
wanted
can
you
be
to say
convinced to
Austin.
change my vote there, to be honest.
Why didn't you say Austin just for comic effect?
Yeah,
For you're
right, 'cause
wearing
I'm
the
wearing
shirt.
the shirt. No. Hey, don't dog on the Austin FC kit, Mark. You'll have angry people coming after you.
Love the club, man. Love the fans. Just not all the threads.
Fair enough. And with that, we end our first video podcast. Woo! Yay!
We made it through it without cursing. That's a
Well,
shock.
Mark didn't, but you know.
Oh, but that's not one of Carlin's words. is it?
No, it's not. No, he was good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is absolutely
Is
what
it
I.
really?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, see.
Yeah, the second this ends, I'll say them all, and we can.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for
Sorry,
watching.
not sorry.
And, we'll be back next year with another Trash or Cash kit for 2023. Bye.